Hi, good evening. First of all, I want to recap on my previous video where basically I told you how I started to drink and how it got a bit of a grip on me, and then a total grip, to be fair. Um, when I was going through this terrible phase in my life, I couldn't function at some points. I managed to dig myself out of it, and I did try at times to cut down, um, which, to be fair, is no use at all because you build up again. If that makes sense. I did try to completely stop once, without any help from any medics, and I ended up having a seizure because if you have a physical dependence on alcohol, then you need a drink. Keep the brain functioning, basically. That was a frightening experience, obviously. Um, After that, I did take some advice from the doctors, and I did get some medication and came off. Basically, just rested for 7 days, and you felt much better. When you feel better, you tend to maybe go out a little bit more, get some fresh air, start to eat a bit better. And it comes to a point where you think, well, maybe I'll just try one drink. So you try one drink and it feels like nectar. It's an incredible feeling. I shouldn't laugh about it, but that's just the way it was at the time. And you have one drink on a Monday, and then you might leave Tuesday, Wednesday, and you have another drink on the Thursday, and then the weekend comes, so you have two or three, and you think you can control it, but in fact, the alcohol is actually controlling you. That's the difficulty. So you get into this position where two or three turns into four and five, and then one day you might end up feeling a bit groggy in the morning. So you'll head off to the pub early doors, sometimes 11 o'clock. You have two or three, what we used to call, probably still called today, liveners, just to perk you a bit. At this point, my partner thought that I may have diabetes because obviously there's a lot of sugar in alcohol, but I didn't. It was just this mental craving. I had a physical craving to have a drink, and as soon as I had one or two, I felt better. But you can go very quickly from zero to being a total mess if they do the stop-start thing. So I used to get these pills basically from the doctor, and they stopped giving them out because of dependence, I suppose. People were abusing the system as always. Um, so when you're physically dependent, it's very dangerous to just stop drinking. That's one little insight into it. But it also becomes a habit as well, as I mentioned in the past. It's very hard to stop this cycle of feeling better than suddenly wanting to drink. And the only way that I personally managed to get out of it was completely stop and just never drink again. You've got to get your mind around that, get your head around that, and think, well, I can't ever have a drink again. It's a shock at first when you're told that, or when you come to terms with that, but you've got to realize that's the only way forward if you're addicted. Because you can't cut down, you can't stop and start. Every time that you stop and you start again, you feel worse when you try to recover, and you have more and more complications. So I'll go over that again in another video, but I just wanted to mention briefly weekend triggers. Obviously, weekend now, a lot of people will get to the point that maybe cut down or have nothing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then it's bang on Friday. Feel a bit rough on the Saturday, go to a football match or go out with the family. We'll have a few more drinks, maybe a meal at night, and then the whole thing starts again. Sunday, I feel a bit rough, might have a few drinks just to get over that. Monday, back to work. That's no good at all. If you're addicted, you have to stop completely. There are self-help groups there. I did try the AA, but that wasn't any good for me personally. The main thing is to get your head around the fact that you must stop and you must fill your time in. I'd say 90% of the people I know who've gone back to drinking said they got bored, they got a little bit sick of sitting around the house. But I've also said to them, you can still go out. There are so many non-alcoholic drinks around. There's lots of non-alcoholic lagers, beers, ciders, spirits. Don't change your habits of meeting friends and going out for a meal. Just change your drink. That's what you got to change your drink, change your mindset. You can still fill the time in. It's just that when you go to the pub, you might have a slightly different conversation, but you'll come out clear-headed. and the next day you'll feel better, then you will reward yourself with something. And that's a good thing to do. The amount of money you save is incredible. You don't get into a mess. You don't need taxis. And so everything's a bonus once you can crack it. So if you got any particular questions, leave a comment. And if you enjoy the videos I'm posting, then obviously subscribe. And I will see you all soon.